Hey, Johnny.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you, Keith?
I'm doing well, Johnny. Thank you. So, Johnny,
Sure.
your third album, Brand New Day, was out on June 21. So, would you like to tell me a bit about the songwriting and production behind this new album?
Absolutely. Well, it was quite a labor of love, Keith. We spent probably a good 2 years from the beginning of writing the tracks to getting it out the door. Also, was the first recorded effort to feature my full band. The first album I put out was just myself and my drummer, Joe Becker, on the tracks. But this effort features myself and Joe, along with John Funk, my lead guitarist and co-songwriter on a few tracks, and Benny Craig, our bassist. So we're just super excited about having everyone on board for this effort. And we tried to really cover a wide musical territory with the album, try and expand the sound of the band beyond what you might expect from the typical two guitar hard rock band. So there's quite a sonic landscape that we try to traverse and bring listeners along with as you listen to the tracks throughout the album. So it's a lot of fun.
Awesome, awesome. When you started writing Brand New Day, did you had some kind of thought process behind it that you want to put something in like a theme or something into this album?
Very good question, and absolutely, we wanted to. I mean, as the title of the album itself indicates, we wanted to provide people a sense of rejuvenation and some hope. We've all endured just a very tumultuous time in the world's history over the past, since the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and also events here in the United States with, the murder of George Floyd and social unrest and so on and so on. So after enduring so much pain and suffering, and I'm not saying that that's all behind us, but I wanted to put something out there that gave people a sense of hope and that there are good things that happen in this world, and it's important to remember that. All too often, it seems like our attention is focused on all the negative, excuse me, the negativity that happens, and it's easy to become overwhelmed by that. So, one thing that I hope to do with with this album is to provide some musical therapy and bring people back to a sense of looking forward and remind them that hey, there is a brand new day, and it's the sun rises every day, and there's good things to look forward to.
And talking about the album, 10 amazing songs, beautifully written, a touch of classic hard rock, brings back to the 70s era, great, awesome music. Each and every song so diverse. It brings back a lot of great memories from the past. So an amazing album from you guys. I totally enjoyed each and every song from this album. Thank you so much for the awesomeness. And as a band and as a creator, how do you feel about the outcome of this album?
Well, I could not be more proud of it, Keith, and thank you so much for your kind words. Indeed, I mean, certainly myself and my bandmates we're products of the 70s, and that was what we cut our musical teeth on. So we wanted to provide listeners with a flavor of that, but also to bring it into the present and expand the palette too beyond what you might expect from your typical two guitar hard rock band. So we have songs that feature live sax, strings, keys, and so forth. Really wanted to um, take the band and the listeners to different areas. We've got a song, the third track features a saxophonist by the name of Jason Peterson Delaire, and it's got a real kind of a Stones flavor to it, if you will. That's the one track on the album that does not have a guitar solo, and that was done intentionally. Um, but absolutely, we wanted to take the elements of the 70s. I think that was such a golden era in terms of songwriting for hard rock music. And we, unfortunately, there's just not so much of that coming out these days. Radio is kind of focused on hip hop and urban contemporary. And we want to remind people that, hey, there's a genre of music that's still very much alive and well. And here's proof of it. And we also wanted to bring some elements of um, a new twist to things and some different instrumentation, and take the listeners on a real journey sonically. But absolutely, the DNA of the band and the album is certainly rooted in the '70s. But we're always looking forward though too.
Awesome. And did you guys do some kind of special release show on June 21 on the day of the release?
Well, we have a couple of shows coming up. We're going to have a release show later this summer, but what we're really looking forward to, we're going to be playing a festival here in Minnesota. It's called Moondance Jam, and we'll be playing there July 20th, the opening night of the show. It's a 3-day festival, and we'll be playing the main stage there. Expect to have probably, I don't know, a good 10,000 people or so in front of us that night. And then we just got added to a show with Buck Cherry that's happening on August 18th here in Minnesota at the Brainerd Armory. So got a couple of shows that we're really excited about, but later this summer we're going to have a release show. I'm actually working on getting a venue lined up for that, and we'll have details about that coming soon.
Fantastic. And any plans in terms of touring to UK or Europe this year?
Well, that would be fabulous. I mean, we'd love to do it. The record, we just released it last week on the 21st. That was done by intention as well. The first day of summer, the summer solstice, and it also happens to be my birthday. So I wanted to give myself a birthday present. But anyway, the album, we're just presenting it to the world, and we're hoping that opportunities like that develop, and we would love to get across the pond and do some shows in Europe. There's a huge market for what we have there, and people listening worldwide to the album, and so we're certainly hope something like that comes to fruition. But that's still something in the works.
And talking about Johnny O'Neill, 3 albums so far, great, amazing albums that you have released, and fantastic journey. And how do you feel about this last few years of your journey with the band?
Well, it's been really exciting. And you're right. We've got, the first album I put out was Truth or Dare, and that featured just myself and Joe Becker, my drummer. We did it, the two of us. We had actually a musician, Danny Peyronel, was a guest musician on keyboards on 3 tracks on that album. He's actually the original keyboardist from UFO. For anyone who knows about 70s classic rock and roll certainly knows about UFO. But we did put out a live EP early last year that was from a performance at the Southern Theater entitled Live at the Southern Theater. But this is the second studio recording for the band, but also it's the first to feature my whole band, as I mentioned before. And now we've got John Funk, my co-lead guitarist. John co-wrote 3 of the tunes on the album with me, and Benny Craig, our bassist, and then of course Joe, my right-hand man, our drummer, has been with me for the whole ride. But this past 2 years, being able to bring the whole band and their talents to bear with the recording effort was just so exciting, and really, as I mentioned before, allowed us to travel to some new territory. And it just is so great to capture the energy of the band on a not only CD, but we have the album out on vinyl too. So the 2 years that we spent writing and recording, as I said, it was definitely a labor of love. But we also had a chance to record half the album at a studio here in Minnesota called Pachyderm Studios. And for anyone who kind of likes to dive deep into factoids and so forth, Pachyderm Studios was where Nirvana recorded In Utero. Soul Asylum, who's also from Minnesota, recorded Grave Dancers Union there, and of course Live recorded Throwing Coppers. So the studio has just quite a storied history, and just a fabulous facility. Not only the studio and the equipment that was at our disposal itself, but there's also basically a resort on the grounds. And Cannon Falls is the last place you'd expect to see a studio of this it's a world-class studio. Cannon Falls is just this little rural town about 50 miles south of the Twin Cities. But the grounds are just spectacular. And so there's a resort for, I guess the best way to put it, where bands can stay. We spent a night down there, and there's an indoor pool, and I spent the night in the what's termed the Keith Cobain room, which is kind of an odd experience, but yeah, just a fabulous time recording that. And I think the magic that we had in that studio, I think, comes across on the tracks of the album. I certainly hope it does. But just a magical experience, and we certainly can't wait to get back there. We're going to do another effort at Pachyderm to be sure. It was just fabulous.
Amazing, amazing. And any plans to come up with an official music video from this album?
Well, we do have the title track, our first single, Brand New Day. We have a video premiere coming on this Thursday, June 29th. That'll be hosted by bravewords.com. And so we've got a couple of little teaser reels that we've been posting just to give people a little taste of what's to come on Thursday. But that'll be the first video. And then we're certainly going to do probably 3-4 more videos, as the year unfolds. But we have just a stellar team of videographers, Kurt and Brianna Jorgensen. Brianna actually is multi-talented. Well, they both are. The two of them actually have their own band in their own right called the Jorgensens, who are just fantastic. But Brianna is not only the video editor, but she also sang backup vocals on a couple tracks on the album, including Brand New Days. So they're definitely part of the Johnny O'Neill team, and they just do it. They've done all of our videos, and we just love working with them. But this one is kind of a different twist. We incorporated some technology that we haven't used before in previous videos, and so it's there's a lot to capture the eye, and so we're hoping that people enjoy the imagery and the energy of the video. But that's coming just in a couple of days here.
Interesting. Interesting. And I know there has been a lot of great, amazing moments that has happened over the years for you. But is there something special that you want to share with me today?
About different moments in my
Highlight moments,
career, or
yeah.
Well, the fact that you and I are having a conversation about my new album is certainly a bright spot, and I thank you so much for your interest. And the people that we're trying to appeal to, certainly Metalheads Forever, right up our alley, and just excited as hell to be able to get this music out to the world and have your listeners exposed to it. So I'd be hard pressed to find this past week, between the release of the album, my birthday, the video coming out, the past week has probably been one of the most memorable in my life, to be sure. And we're just looking forward to having one hell of a summer. We're just getting rolling here.
Fantastic, fantastic. And what's next for Johnny O'Neill?
Well, we're going to be doing more shows, and we'll be back in the studio. More videos coming down the pike. I won't tell you what we have in mind for the next one, but each one I think will represent quite a unique perspective and a different musical twist. So, and it'll be different technology incorporated with the videos too. But we're going to be working really hard to promote this record in every possible way that we can, and get out and play in front of as many people and have as many people hear the music as possible. So we're really excited about what's to come, and I'm looking forward to new adventures. I'm sure there will be quite a few coming our way.
Awesome. And Johnny, finally, any message that you have for the fans around the world?
Well, oh, rockers around the world, we cannot thank you enough for your support of our music. You guys are what we live for, your support of our music. And The energy and enthusiasm that you provide for us just really gives us such inspiration for our music. And so we thank you so much for your support, and we really hope you enjoy the new album. Come out to see us when we're in your neck of the woods, and we're going to be, as I said, releasing new videos. You can find out more about us in terms of what's coming next with the band. We have a Facebook site under Johnny O'Neill Official. I also have a website that's johnnyoneil.com, JOHNNYONEIL.com. So you can check out those sites to find out what the band's up to. As I mentioned before, the album is out on CD and vinyl, which you can purchase through Bandcamp. We have a Bandcamp site as well, but also streaming platforms, all the usual suspects: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. The album's accessible in a lot of different formats. So give it a listen. Certainly hope you enjoy what you hear. And again, thank you so much for your support. We greatly appreciate it.
Fantastic. Johnny, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview. And thank you so much for the musical awesomeness and for the amazing album, Brand New Day, which was out on June 21. I really enjoyed each and every song, as I said earlier. And thanks for this beautiful music. You have brightened up my day for the last couple of weeks. I totally enjoyed each and every song. I thank you again for this. And I wish you the best.
Keith, thank you so much for your kind words. And believe me, it was my pleasure to be on your show. A great honor. And thank you so much. And I'm glad you enjoyed the record. And you take care and have a great rest of the summer. And here we go.
You too, Johnny. Have a great day and a great summer ahead. Take care of yourself.
All right. Take care, Keith. Good talking to you.